125 in my own way, pedal to metal. One thing that I won't let you do, and that's gas me up. Keep my eyes open, letting nothing pass me up. Oh, I refuse to let you block my shine, no, not today. And I ain't going out to fight, no, not today. I'll take the light, you hold the camera, don't need more. Ready for action, I'm never lacking, I've seen war. FaceTimes, great minds couldn't conceive or couldn't relate, was robbed the chance to see more. So I aspire to reach higher, the fire inside of me burns brighter until I blow up like C4. Great shit, make hits, deep as the sea floor. Paste it, race gets long as the seashore. My star rising, they see me shining like I done been dipped in diamonds, but I be like, where the haters, they seem sure. It's all crickets, they on my dick like a seesaw. With no ticket, it's so sickening, please pause. As I provide the soundtrack to bounce back from each loss until we reach a target, we proceed course. There's no quitting, the clock's ticking. I seen how the plot thickens. Regardless, I never let it throw me off. I want the shit, boy, get on my level. Doing 125 in my own way, pedal to metal. One thing that I won't let you do, and that's gas me up. Keep my eyes open, letting nothing pass me up. Oh, I refuse to let you block my shine, no, not today.
What it do, family? What the business is, people? What's going on? You know what time it is. It's Wednesday. We already in the place to be. You know what it is. You know what's going on. What it is. Chris, man, what's going on? How was your day?
It's been a day.
Oh, shit.
It's been a day. Like,
is that good or bad?
It depends on what side of the fence. It's kind of both, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I had to take my wife to ER last night. So I am operating. Right? Yeah, she got some pneumonia in her left lung, but she's talking. They're getting her together, so she's fine. She's just like literally 5 minutes down the street. Thank God. So she was like, honey, you can go home, get some rest, which I only slept in like hour.
Hey, man, it be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm like,
but I can get an hour, I'm good.
Well, it's different when you've been running since 7 a.m. yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean.
That's why. So I'm like,
I
other than that,
I'm 4 on my off day, so I've been up since about 4 this morning.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, she's good, you know. Let me shut this down. I got like 2 computers going. I'm like Bruce Wayne over this bitch. But yeah, she's doing good, man. She's just, you know how it is with hospitals, like to take forever to discharge folks, and they want to do all workers. We work in the healthcare field. We know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm fine. I didn't have to go to work. Got paid for it.
I mean, I'm off on Wednesdays now, so I ain't tripping. We got guests tonight.
Hot dog.
But before they get in here, a couple things I wanted to get into. One being this right here. So a lot of people have seen this, but I don't think you guys have seen the new edition. So if you look down, there's a B with a rocket in it. Shout out to Biz Boost, who has become the official media and marketing partner of the 4C event for next year. Excited. They was like, hey, put us down. We want to be a part of what you got going on. We definitely want to help market and send this straight up to the moon so everybody will know what you're doing. So shout out to them. Opolis Radio, of course, the main sponsor. Also in the talks with Seeger Promotions, who is going to be coming aboard in some capacity here soon. Of course, we got Blur's Eye View going to be a part of it in a capacity also. So it's shaping up to be pretty good. I got 3 venues I'm looking at. Really one, but the other 2 I'll give an eyeball to just in case. But the one is probably going to be the one just for what it provides and the opportunities that it entails. So in other news, unless you've been living under a rock and you live in Cleveland, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but Deshaun Watson got about 6 games. But
it's very touchy.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into it, but the league is going to be appealing that, so stay tuned to that. One that really hit me but didn't hit me, as we get comments. Tracy, what's going on, man? What's going on, Playboy? Shout out to Law Society, ENT, man. They be definitely in the building, man. I'm definitely not scaring no more white ladies with the music, man, but I'm still bumping it as much as I can. Vin Scully, longtime broadcaster of the Los Angeles Dodgers, passed away at the age of 94. Crazy. He was like the youngest broadcaster to do a World Series at the age of 25, which makes me feel like I ain't did shit with my life now. Just hearing that fact. Like, this man started at 25, the youngest ever broadcaster to do a World Series. Longtime voice of the Dodgers. Amongst a slew of other things that he did in his lifetime, man. It's just crazy. Also, Bill Russell passed away at the age of 88.
It's a lot that happened in the past weekend. A lot of notable greats.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. In lighter news, we got another black owner to the Denver Broncos. Lewis Hamilton, who is a race car driver, now Formula One, has thrown his hat in to be on that staff as far as an owner. So, man, that's big. We got 2 black people that has NFL ownership now. So we're making strides. Maybe one day we might fully own a team, but right now it's about, I think, 6 of them that's a part of this ownership group. I can't remember the lady's name off the top of my head. I reported it about a month ago when the news broke, and everybody was like, no, she's not doing it. I was like, nah, dog, she's a part of the group that's taking over the Broncos. Mm-hmm. So that's big. How do you feel about that? Like, we have black owners, partially.
It says that things are moving in a direction of recognition, and I hope it's just not being like facetious and just saying, hey, here's a gimme, just because. I like it, to see stuff like that. Byron Allen, who is, lo and behold, be making silent player moves. King moves.
Brian Allen out here.
He ain't out here playing. He is not playing. Like, he saved a black news network that just went down like earlier this year. He saved a black news network that's going to be coming back. So when you see stuff like that, and they're really making the strides and making advancements, and not just in front of the camera, but behind the scenes in the boardroom, that's fantastic. I like that.
Yeah. Then there's Mystical.
Oh,
mystical. I don't really. Again, man, these are between that and Deshaun Watson. Those are things that I really don't want to talk about, like, in depth. I'll just say the niggas is wilding. Like, Mystical is not the first time, but it's just like, dog. At some point, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, there's just not. It's too much, man. It's too much. You at a point, man, it's too much. Like, it's wild, it's crazy, and it's really out there. For those who live in Kent, man, it's Hall of Fame weekend, so you know what that means. Football's back, baby. We got football starting tomorrow, man. We got the worst game ever, but it's still football, so I'm gonna watch it. God,
they gotta start from the bottom.
Oh, this is the bottom of the bottom. It's the fucking Oakland Raiders and Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't want to watch it, but because I love football and I can't not watch, and I've been feeding for football for like the last 6 months since the Super Bowl, I'm going to watch it. And since it's here in Kent, man, there's a lot of things going on. Hall of Fame weekend. You got the Inshrinees, you got parades. There's a lot of stuff that's going to bring money into Canton. I was actually at Walmart. And there was an actual Hall of Fame guy who was getting enshrined who I did not recognize, so I couldn't tell you who it was. I just know there was a woman with a Hall of Fame shirt on, and they be escorting these dudes around town, pretty much just like a driver. This white woman was like, yeah, he's getting enshrined. I got to get him down there by 6, and it's 5:30. So it's cool to see, man, the Hall of Famers in town, put money into Canton. It's a very necessary thing. It's actually dope. I just wish I knew who the hell he was, because I looked at him. I was like, he looked like he played football. That's all I got.
But couldn't tell you who he is.
But that's the thing about football, man. Motherfuckers is behind helmets, so you don't know a motherfucker like until you see him in a commercial.
You really gotta see him, like you said, in the commercial or something like that. Because even like the before game stats and stuff doesn't really help, because
I couldn't pick him out of a lineup right now. He can hit me over the head with a bat, and they'd be like, pick him out of a lineup. You seen him face to face, and I'd be like, yeah,
can't help you, fam. Can't even.
I know it is. Oh, also part of the 4C convention, I've reached out to the charity we're going to be giving to. They actually do a mentoring program for young girls in the summer. So they started a podcast to teach these young girls how to, one, empower themselves to do podcasting and be able to talk and, learn how to express themselves in different ways. But they also do a lot of empowerment stuff, man. So it's dope. $20 of every ticket. Well, the ticket is $20 and $10 of every ticket. So it's going to this program to make sure these girls every summer can have a place to go, get repairs done or whatever they need, podcasting equipment. So these young girls learn how to podcast, man, because we need more female podcasters out here, especially Black women podcasters. That's a segment that is really dope,
slept on.
But really is slept on. Yeah, it's really a lot of untapped potential, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, man, this event is starting to grow. There's a lot of people jumping on board, wanting to be a part of it. So it's nice, man. It's like I said, man, Biz Boost didn't have to, but they threw their name in there. Was like, hey, we'll promote it. Put us down as a media and marketing partner. Ambulance Radio is a sponsor. Like I said, I'm in talks with another guy, Secret Promotions, who is going to be getting on board in some capacity. So, man, it is nice. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. I have a few minutes before our guests come, so I did something today, and I don't know why.
What did you do?
I went to Walmart. Everybody knows my disdain for Walmart. I can't fucking stand that place with a passion, because every time I go in there, I see like the weirdest people. It's like people walking barefoot with like 6 kids on leashes and shit, pulling a cart. It's just like fucking, it's weird. Like Walmart is like the redneck Target. And now even Target is getting out of hand.
I was going to say, isn't that the like, it's falling down the tubes? Like Target?
They all are. I don't know, man. It's weird what's going on right now. You got monkeypox, taxes, gas, Joe Biden falling off his bike. I still watch that video every day and I laugh because he feels so fucking slow. Like behind the team of him falling and hitting the ground, Tom Brady got 2 Super Bowl rings. LeBron almost passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for like the lead scorer. Like this shit's out of hand. This motherfucker's forgetting everything he ever known and then want to tell us how to do stuff. And I just look at him and be like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world. It's banana sandwiches, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's with mayonnaise.
Banana sandwich.
Yeah, man, because it's like, it's weird to see what's going on, and try to make sense of it. and then still also try to live life and not worry about it because you can't stop what you're doing because it's a lot of weird shit in the air.
Yeah.
You know, so I try not to pay attention to it because I have a lot going on, but at the same time, I'm human, so I don't even watch the news. Like the last time I watched the news, it was like just they came out the gate hitting you in the face with some weird shit, and it was like, yeah.
I would say
women.
Nuaz. Is that how you pronounce it? Nuaz? Yeah, exactly. I haven't watched it in weeks.
Oh, news, yeah. Oh man, it's crazy.
Is that like the same as ROADs? Like, there's nothing to talk about on here.
Speaking of talking, shout out to WB. These motherfuckers. It's just a gift that keep on giving. DC is the other DC, the shitty one, is canceling everything left, right, and center. They canceled Batgirl. They talking about maybe canceling Flash. They canceled a bunch of TV shows.
They pushed back Shazam again until next year.
They won't win. They
only can. It's just, what is there here? What's the prize? There is no prize. There's no staying in the game. There's just what's happening. And now HBO Max is they letting go some stuff on HBO Max.
I ain't gonna lie, if I wasn't getting that shit free, I probably would be like, I ain't paying for it. It's Netflix. I'm never paying for Netflix again. I'm so excited. I'm gonna let our guests get situated. I'm calling an audible, man. So Chris, I'm gonna let the little ticker go down at the bottom, but I want you to keep up and read this because I can't. So our guest tonight, if you want to.
Okay. It's Nigerian American.
I started over.
Okay. You want me to read it or?
Yeah. I mean, people can read it as it goes on, but
okay. Yeah.
Well, she's done a lot.
Yeah.
So while y'all reading that,
trust verse.
I want to let this run for a second. I want to give her justice. I want to let y'all breathe on. Just read some of the stuff, man. Just drink it in, man.
I like that.
Drink it in. This is only part one. There's another part.
I'm sure there is.
So let's just let it breathe in. For y'all who listening to this, you need to watch it live because she has done a lot. But this last part is where you really need to put your eyeballs on it. Put your oh yeah.
Ooh. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
So without further ado, we have.
Oh yes.
You, man. Your accomplishments. Like I'm just as I was reading this and going through it, I was like, she has done so much.
How do I change to see if I can do y'all live like that?
She go watch
multitasking. Yeah,
she fits right in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna work. Prop it up on my mouse. Or just go like that.
So part 2. Oh no, wrong one. Sorry.
So good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You heard me pretty well.
Oh yes.
When her email came to me, I ain't gonna lie, I thought somebody was pranking me. Every time somebody big hit me up, I'd be like, somebody fucking with me. Somebody is really trying to get me out here looking goofy. So lovely to have you on.
Yep.
I guess when I'm not recording, it doesn't.
You lost it for a second.
Are we back?
Yeah, we got something. We got something.
Wait, is that
I see the key. That means she locked something in. Hold on, get there together right there.
Beautiful.
Stay there.
Oh, wrong button. Okay, maybe I should turn on the record.
There you go.
It went to sleep. Reset up my whole setup here. Okay, here we go.
So, voice artists I lost her again. She's so busy.
Busybody.
You are a actress and voiceover artist.
Yes, and host and content creator.
Jesus Christ. Yes,
she
I'm
fits
sweating
in with the
so
fold.
much too.
I was going to say because it's
making
not
a comment just to have my own space to host as I was getting back in the arena, because I used to host when I was younger, but I got big dreams. So I said, let me start by hosting my own stuff, and then I can get other people to bring me in to host so they can see what it is that I do and how I do it. Oh.
And what you do is you do it well. Like,
this is an impressive resume.
Thank you.
I gotta say that is.
Yeah, like
because I'm reading part 2 now, and so it's just like it's a lot.
Like just this part, like Dove, like you've done some major work.
Even with DC's Mortal Enemies.
Who was that? Oh yeah,
DC as in the comic universe DC.
Oh no, RDC.
Oh. Unfortunately, I share the same.
Is Netflix DC's Mortal Enemy? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I am, but that one too. How'd you get started into voiceover work and acting? Like, which came first?
Acting came first. Acting came out of I started off modeling actually. So that's another one, but I'm old now, so I don't really, maybe some commercial modeling, but I don't,
Stop
too
it.
much modeling.
Okay. Stop it.
But I started off
modesty.
I started off modeling, and I moved to New York, and I lived there for about 4 years. Bartending, modeling, just living that New York life. And I had known some actors, but it never occurred to me that maybe I should get into acting. That came later. And I came back for my family. I'm sorry, but something got in my eye. Now everything is melting in my left eye. I came back to Maryland after about 4 years or so, and I wasn't completely satisfied with, I thought my New York days were over at that time. I wasn't completely satisfied with my level of accomplishment for modeling. So I decided that I would make the Love calendar. So that was my first big creative project. And once I did that kind of let me know, you know what? Okay, I can have creative conceptualize these ideas and then bring it into fruition. And then I sold them all over the place to all different types of people. And then for me, I was like, all right, I am officially a model, and I was successful. I got the sales to prove it, right?
Yeah.
And then so when I came back, a friend of mine told me, who is currently a producer now, told me about a film that was coming to town and that I should come and audition. And I think I had maybe auditioned randomly, like at Howard University, for something here and there with friends, just, not really being serious. But as time was going on and I was transitioning out of the modeling, I thought, well, you know what? That might be a good look. Let me try it. And so auditioned for this film. I got a principal part, and it was an independent film, but it was a SAG film. So that made me eligible, though I did not join SAG, but that made me eligible. So it kind of, just made me feel a little bit like, okay,
this shit.
Even though I don't have a bunch of credits, but I'm already all I gotta do is pay money, and I can just join the union, where other people, you gotta do all these other requirements, right? So that's how. What'd you say?
Like a whole bunch of crappy films.
You got to do a bunch of films, or you got to get waivers, and I don't even know all the details. I just know I see the people with their little slips sometimes, like, yeah, I need to get this signed. I got 1 line. Oh, wait a minute, 3 lines. Whatever those things are, I didn't have to do that. So.
Sound like intern hours. Don't it just sound like intern hours?
You're right. Or volunteer to graduate from high school.
Right.
Oh man, I never did that. I always forged my shit.
Did you graduate?
I did. I was a great forger. What's the statute of limitations on forging high school? You know what? Never mind.
We got a long enough time. It's past.
Yeah, I'm old. So from
that film that's when I caught the acting bug. Was what the film was called Taste. Wait, hold on. It's called Toe to Toe. And it was directed by Emily Apt with Pureland Pictures. And it was shot in Maryland and DC.
That is dope.
So that was 2006. Wow.
She just thought about the time. She was like, "Oh boy, it's been that long."
Don't count it down.
Look, now there's nothing in my eye now. These are just tears.
So, from acting to voiceover, was it an easy transition or did it go seamlessly?
None of this is easy, but it is pleasant. It was interesting, and it took another, let's say, 5 years. So from 2006, so I did that film, and then over the next 2 years, I pretty much got married, had a baby, and was like, I wasn't doing anything creative. I was like, oh, I'm a married woman now. I'm not going to be doing any of those creative things. And so I kind of dropped it all. And then wasn't working out. And I started taking acting class. Like, you know what? Let me do something creative because I was a little miserable at home, I would say. So I started going to the acting conservatory at Studio Theater. That's in DC on 14th Street. It's one of the main theaters in DC. So I started going there. By the next year, my marriage was over. I was working part-time at a restaurant, and this filmmaker came in. And I was working as a host, I think, that day. And he came in, he was like, yeah. So, oh, you have a nice voice for voiceover. Do you do voiceover by chance? And I was like, no. And mind you, I never really liked my voice growing up because it was always, deeper than everybody else's and just, yeah. So
it works.
at the same time, I was going to those classes. So I started going on auditions. And I started noticing the casting directors or the directors would also ask me, do you do voiceover? So I was like, I got to find out what is this voiceover thing, because professionals are asking me, do I do it? Then that means I need to do it. So that's how it was actually introduced to me. And that was 2011.
That is wild to me. Because I've been in a lot of places and talked to a lot of people, and they just told me my shit was annoying as hell. So
they told you your voice was annoying?
Yeah, it's a little nasally sometimes and weird. But
there is a purpose for every type of voice.
Radio.
This is true.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of times people think they hear a voice and like, oh, because they think that you can sound good on the radio. So they're like, oh, you got a good voice for voiceover. Every voice is a good voice for voiceover. It just has to be applied in that particular thing. So people don't realize that voiceover is just as infused in our lives, if not more, than music. Everything that you hear, watch on TV, listen on the radio, most of it has voiceover in it. So if you listen to audiobooks, voiceover, that's obvious. Radio commercials, voiceover, that's obvious. But when you're watching a commercial and you see somebody doing something, but you don't see them speak and you hear somebody else speak, voiceover. When you go to live shows, the announcements, the awards, that's voiceover. When you watch an international film with dubbing, that's voiceover. When you have the accessibility settings. One time I accidentally turned on accessibilities. I was watching Law and Order on cable one day. Oh my God. And it was like door open, black, blank, transition, screen, on but all of that.
Wow.
That voiceover. I'm trying to think of things that you might not think of as voiceover. But yeah, pretty much. Every time you hear somebody speak and you don't see who's talking, as voiceover. So just think about all of that. When you ride the metro, doors opening, doors closing. That was a voiceover artist who did it. A lot of times those jobs go to like CBS radio, like big news station type talent, on-air talent, radio talent. But yeah, the subway, when you go to the museum and they might have an audio, they have headphones as a part of the exhibit for whatever it is. If you want to that's reading the text on the wall, that's a voiceover artist did that.
So I got a question. So I know you said it's not easy from acting to voiceover work.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that the acting helped?
No, okay. I was just saying it's not easy, period. Like going after this stuff, it's not easy.
Oh,
that's what I meant to say. Okay, go ahead.
Would you think that the acting helps enhance your voice work?
Yes. So voiceover is voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Just about all of it is acting, or being a storyteller. Other than instructional or explainer videos, it's all acting. So, the intonation, especially with commercial, because basically when somebody gets a commercial, when they hire a voiceover artist, or a production company even, to push whatever that product that they're selling or the service that they're selling, they already have a target audience in mind. They already have how they want the people to feel when you hear their commercial. Whether they want the person to sound relatable and realistic. They might want it to remind you of your mother, or the girl next door, or your know-it-all best friend, your no-nonsense best friend, your sassy best friend, which is code language for Black women, by the way.
Yeah.
So all of those things, require acting, because you're not just reading. You actually have to sound and come across and elicit that emotion and that connection to the listener. So 100% now the acting training does come into handy. Come in handy. So after I went to studio theater, I went back to New York and attended the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute. And Lee Strasberg is the founder of method acting. Have you ever heard of method acting? Yeah. So that went to that
New
school.
York.
What'd you say?
Old boy from Gangs in New York is a horrible method. I think I heard. What's his name? Daniel Day-Lewis.
You said he's a horrible method actor?
Yeah, they said when he get in the character, like he walks around the studio, the cafeteria, in character.
Yeah, don't break character. It's definitely good. Because with method, it's really method. All acting styles and techniques, they kind of all of the main terminologies that we have, they kind of all birth out of the same group of people, right? So Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, Sandy Meisner, and a couple other names that I don't remember, but it might be like a good 10 or so actors out of New York City, back in the let's see, how old is Strasberg? I don't know. Let's just say mid 1900s. They were fans of a guy called Stanislavski, which is also a method, and he was out of Moscow. So there was a Moscow theater company that was traveling around the world. They came to New York. And so these actors, they studied this style, and from there they created their own theater company called the Group Theater. And then they basically went and did like whether it was a brainstorming session or whatever weekend, just out in the woods or whatever, and came up with a new way of acting that was built on the Stanislavski, and that's where method came from. And it's really about like not pretending, and not, like if I want to look hungry or thirsty, don't pretend to look hungry or thirsty, but basically reenacting the actual visceral or sensorial circumstances that would bring that natural response to you as an actor to play back out to the camera, if that makes any sense. But that
makes it makes perfect sense.
That's what I went and learned, and I wanted to go to a place that was like highly respected. So I think that because of my training there, and then additional training with the late great Win Handman, who taught Denzel Washington, Alex Baldwin, John Leguizamo, everybody.
You hit the nail on the head when she mentioned Denzel first. Like,
yeah, well, the guy
just like that's like
told me about
the high mark.
Yes, I was like, wait, he still teaches? Like when I met him, he was like 95, turning 95 years old. And I met a guy on the street, literally on his stoop with my acting partner. We were rehearsing for a show and we were on his stoop and he came out. I was like, oh, come out. You could be our audience. An old guy, like probably 60 something. And so he's the one that told me about Wayne Hammond. He was actually in class with Denzel Washington. He was the one that told me some of the names. He was in class with them. And he said, I think he's still teaching. So I auditioned a couple times, So that's one thing I love about New York. You have these stories where you just run into people and then you get all these different kind of opportunities. But all of those experiences definitely now contributes to when it comes time for voice acting, because you don't have the benefit of having a picture. It's all in your vocal tone and quality. And definitely all of that. It made a difference. Definitely.
That's what's up. I like that. I only asked that partly because I'm someone who's looking into getting into voice acting. So I've often heard, because we were good friends with Stefan Johnson, who's also a known voice actor and voice talent. And he said the same thing, that going into acting first really helps you, like what you said, like inflections and cadence and how you what the character is inflecting on the person, so you get an understanding, or the people that's listening get a better understanding of what's going on.
Yes, it does help, but it's not the only way. So if somebody is interested in voice acting, you don't have to go and become an actor first, but you do need to get training, and you constantly train and do workshops. But by doing completing a voiceover program, and then maybe even a master's. I also completed a master's voiceover program. They will get into the weeds with how to help you pull those different things, like, whether it's pauses or stresses or changing accents on words and different things, speed. There's different elements of speech that you can adjust to elicit all of the emotions or the sounds that you want to get across. And you'll learn that in your training. So it's more than one way.
Right.
In this,
you have opened my eyes to a lot tonight. Well, one, because I never thought of it that deep. Like when you hear about, voice actors, you think, walk in the room and just start talking. To the average layman person who doesn't, I don't do it. I don't never consider myself that, or even thought about it. But you are good at what you do, and I know this because you won an award.
Thank you. I did. So
hold on. You a little too humble on that. Let me tell y'all people again. She won an award for her voice. So she wasn't just no regular, I'm in here talking about the pins and all that. She won an Emmy for a documentary voiceover. How did that feel when you won? Because I seen the pictures and I was like, oh, she looks super.
Okay, so it's two. Okay, you're mixing up two. So there's a documentary that I narrated that was nominated for an Emmy. We did not win that one, but we were nominated.
I did get it.
So that's still something. But then I won a Voice Arts Award, which is from SOVA. So that's the Society of Voice Arts. Lord, don't get me in trouble. Society of Voice Arts and Sciences.
Okay, you had me about to try to go through it. Like, wait a minute.
Like you
knew.
So that is like, I would say that is kind of like the Oscars maybe for voiceover right now in the US. So it's a very respectable awards show for voiceover. So I won Outstanding Radio Promo for the Voice Arts Award. And then for the nomination, the film was nominated, like for Best Documentary, something like that. Best TV Documentary, because it aired on PBS, and it's available on demand. So yeah.
But that still says a lot, because I ain't never been nominated for nothing. Not nothing good. Nor have I won anything good. At least not yet. Let's say that. But that says a lot, because that means you were one of the, like, there's a lot of radio programs who has a lot of voice acting done to it. but you won for that.
Yes. So I won for, funny enough, bring back Denzel Washington. It's funny how they came back around because I won for the radio promo. So do you know what I mean when I say radio promo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I won for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which was directed by Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Yeah.
That actually ran on BBC radio across the United Kingdom and in Australia.
Amazing.
I was pretty proud of that one.
Because I seen the pictures on your Instagram, and I was like, she was just like,
I was very excited. My acceptance speech was like crazy. The whole thing was crazy and amazing.
Did you expect to win?
Kind of. You know how they say, you're supposed to be positive and speak like, yeah, I won it already. And the night before. So what I did though, I was like, I need to have some kind of celebration, but I need to do it before the awards, just in case I don't win. I can't have the celebration after the award ceremony.
Yeah, because
So I had a nomination celebration the night before. And one of my favorite podcasts hosts and friends, a couple, Black Dot, shout out Black Dot and Tanya, and Urban X podcast, #1 father and son podcast in the world, top 100 in the country. Okay,
talk mixed.
You know how people do that? He's like, you already won it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I already won. You know what I mean? My grandmother, she was like, go and get your glory, said prayers. And she's like, go and get your award. I'm Nigerian, so she has a thick Nigerian accent. You go up there and you get your award. You go and you get your glory. So I'm like, yeah, man, I won.
No, when grandma said that, it's all that kind of like it's
the way grandma praised, and the way grandma was just very. I was like, I have no other choice but to know that I am going to win. But still, I was like, just in the back of my mind, I was like, let's have a celebration beforehand, because still being nominated. And they had told us that this year or that year, which was last year, they had 60% more submissions than they had in any other year. So for me to be in the final 5 out of, I'm sure, was a lot. I was like, shoot, that's enough to be proud of right there, to make it past this, because submissions is one thing, but then when you make it to the final nominee list, that's when I was like, yeah, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this. Okay.
See, when I read that, I was like, damn, she won. I seen the pictures. I was like, if she want to come on here, she can have a whole show. Like, I'll just shut up and let her run it. Like, there's no, like, I can't not, because that, to me, that is dope. Like I said, to be nominated is one thing. Like you said, to be nominated is one thing, but to win, even if you expect it, you be like, one foot in, one foot out. You're like, I don't know, but you won. And then that speech, who was the first person you thanked?
Who was the first person? I think my engineer, Sam, was the first person, because he was the first person who believed in me when it came to this voiceover thing. Meaning, I met Sam when I went back to New York to go to Strasberg, and I had joined this theater company, a showcase theater company that's really designed to help actors get representation. So I had invited him to the show. I ended up getting into the sketch troupe that was a part of the show. So I was performing every night of the week. So I'm selling tickets, and we had mutual friends. So I invited him to the show. He had a studio, so I invited him to the show. So he saw, me acting, and it was comedic thing. So he just saw me being a talent. And then I learned that he had a studio. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to do this voiceover thing. So let me just start practicing stuff. So I would, pay for studio time. But, when I first started, I kind of knew a little bit, but I just started training. And being a recording and mixing engineer, he was used to music and vocals, but he wasn't used to voiceover either. So after a while, you know, he's like, he wasn't really like running up my tab as much because I was always going like, you know, just trying to get better and better. You know, they say practice makes perfect. So we would be in the studio, like figuring that stuff out at the same time while I'm training and learning more stuff. So it'll be like, we might go in, record something, and then I'll learn some more stuff and come back like, all right, so we got to take out all the breaths because there's no breath, you know, like every time I'm learning stuff, we go back and then keep on improving. And he gave me that time because he believed in my talent. He's like, I think that you're going to go places. So yeah.
And man, was he right.
But I'm running up. He's like, but right. Tab. So don't think it's sweet, but no, but yeah. So that was the first person that I thanked. The next person, I'll just say the next one and that's it. Because she's also very important. It's my friend's mom, Miss Carol. Miss Carol Eason. When I was a teenager and I met her at her house, and I just always had a lot of energy. I don't know if you could tell. Very bubbly. Very
you energy? Psh, get out of here. Did that totally missed me.
Some people like it. At that time, I think more people did not like it than did. And I remember her talking to me in the kitchen. She's like, you know, people they don't even know what to do with you, do they? They probably say this, that, and the third. She's like, but don't worry. She's like, I can see you. He's like, you're going to be a star one day. Don't worry. I can see it in you. You know, she just had very kind words for me. And that's something that stuck. Like in the back of my mind, you know, sometimes you might have dreams or aspirations and you think you're going after them or you think you might want to go after them, but you are afraid. And it's those people who say those things about how they believe in you, your elders, that you kind of like, you know what, let me just at least try. Let me do this step. And then if this step with the feedback is off of that, then I'll take it from there. And what happened is I took one step, feedback, took another step, feedback. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, all right then.
So with all your accolades so far and massively impressive resume.
Hold on, Chris.
Congratulations on the award.
One second.
What you got?
1 second. We have another guest also. So this Black Girl Magic is going to continue.
I like that.
So coming in from Texas, we have Miss Vernesha. Hello. Okay. So Chris, while you ask your question to her, I'm gonna put her thing up on the screen because I'm trying to multitask here.
Okay. So is there a dream project that you wanted to do or a dream or someone you wanted to work with?
As far as currently for voiceover right now, is there a dream project?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I really don't speak in terms of dreams anymore. I just call them goals because I plan on accomplishing them. So the projects that I am currently working on now that need to be completed. Well, so the next award I'm going after is a Grammy. So I guess you could say that. It's on my vision board right there. I'm looking at it right there. There it is.
It's done. She got it.
Right there.
I quit.
Right there on the wall. Right
she got it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
That project will be children's album, and it's going to be a compilation audio book. So I've started working on that. So that is one of the current projects. And then I also have a documentary. I went and got mentored by Dame Dash a couple years ago about being like an independent. I never mentioned that.
What are we doing with our life?
You're killing me tonight.
So he challenged me to make a documentary, and it has been challenging, but yeah, so that's another project. So those are the two big projects. Storybook Adventures is the Grammy goal, and the makings of a voiceover boss, lessons learned by Dame Dash. Those are the two projects that I'm working on now.
My dude, G Black Light Flex.
Light Flex. What's going on, G
I gotta let your compliments breathe for a minute. Let's shift for a second. Don't go anywhere. So I had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Vernesha, LoveVee, host of a podcast. Also is doing one hell of a women's mixer mingle, get it in, let's politic event. First, how long have you been podcasting? Because we talked about this, but
so I started podcasting March of 2020. So dead smack in the middle of the pandemic. Well, when it first started.
She's around the time as us, man. Yeah. So, but you're throwing an event this month.
Yes, I'm really nervous. This is my first one. Well, hosting my first one August 20th. A mix and mingle. It's like a women's networking event, and I'll have like a speaking panelist of women who are entrepreneurs, some who are like in finance, who can help you out with that. So I'm excited.
I'm not.
Nice. Congratulations.
Not that I'm not excited, but y'all like doper than I wanted y'all to be. I ain't gonna lie.
It's gonna go well. The nerves are good for you, but you push through.
Yeah.
Get your check. As long as you got your checklist, everything's gonna work out.
For sure. Yeah. I was just talking to my friend about it because like my nerves, I'm such a perfectionist. And she was like, you know what? The only reason why you're nervous is because you actually care. And I said, damn, you're right. Okay. I'm good with the good nerves.
Yeah, you wanted to succeed.
Instagram. I made like a what's it called? An event on Facebook. It's been doing really well. I've been getting a lot of feedback. The speakers, they have been promoting it as well for me. So yeah.
So the ad that you have on that you're running on Instagram, is it like video? Is it you talking, or is it like pictures and music?
So I have two. So I have one of me actually speaking, and then I have one where just like the flyer for the event. And I also have a few other ones where like the actual speakers, they have their own ad that I run. Like a bit about it.
Okay. Well, the reason why I asked guys was because seeing as how she's another sister, and I push elevate your digital media with voiceover, I was going to offer her some voiceover for one of her ads that she continues to promote if she's interested. If you're interested.
Look at how the magic works.
Awesome.
I had nothing to do with this, y'all. So for whoever's watching and listening, I was just going to sit back and let them work because they kind of took over. So I was just going to let them. I'm so used to shutting up.
I'm passing the mic back.
I'm so here it is. I'm so used to shutting up when black women get to talking to each other. I know my role, and it's just to shut my mouth and just push the buttons when they need me to, and just kind of let y'all do that. But that is dope.
Thank you so much, because you didn't even have to do that. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. I done messed up my prop. I believe in I really do believe in the power of voiceover. I know that without voiceover or voice, spoken word, you can't run on radio or streaming audio platforms, and that is still where 93% of the consumer market is located. That everybody's still, radio is still king, audio streaming is still king. And then even when we post on Instagram and stuff, a lot of times, especially when we use popular music or songs or things like, is that my sound?
Can't isolate it, but I think so. I think it's a weird feedback.
It sounds like weird. It is like.
But it wasn't doing it before, was it? Was that me? Sorry.
Please continue.
Sometimes when we have photos and videos and just have the music playing, or like the flyer, just having that voice to just repeat those key things, like where it is, what you're about, your company, maybe your company represents something, that you really want to get that point across. That's where I think voiceover really helps with just kind of drilling that into the people, or what they should come to expect, or how they should feel, or they're going to feel or walk away from leaving your event. So I firmly believe in that, and I'm definitely down to spread the love.
What's the best?
I like the. What's the best? 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 What's I like that.
Hold on, Chris. What was that?
That glitch.
She said, "What's the best time to reach you?" I think that's.
Is that what you said?
What's the best way to reach you?
The best. Reach. Always work for me. Text, Instagram, email, phone. Do they have my info?
I believe I do. I can put that in motion. Exchange you guys' information afterwards. That way we ain't doing it on the air and y'all get some crazy stalker dudes trying to hit y'all up.
Because they're out there.
Yeah, they be like, "Hey, I seen you got an event coming up, baby girl. Let me get at you. I just want to holler at you for a second. Come here, girl. Where you doing? Where you going?" So
that weird stuff we came across on last night.
Okay, that's not me. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll put you guys.
It'll be easy.
So I like that because the networking to me is huge, especially women. I said this before. I think the podcast game needs more women, especially Black women, because I feel like that's a segment that's really lacking. And it's a missing target. There's plenty of dudes, especially not these colors. And then there's let's be real. But I think women in podcasting is always dope, man, because women can touch on so many different subjects and things that men just can't touch.
You think so?
Well, they can, but it just looks weird to see a grown man just gossiping. You know what I mean?
It's a perfect example is you could be a man who wants to genuinely want to know what women think, whether it's on relationship, marriage, raising children, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, because the way most men act, like sliding in people's DMs and being weird and everything else, it puts ladies on the defensive almost, where you almost have to be on the defensive. So it sounds weird, On the podcast or in the DMs, or if someone who's trying to just genuinely ask questions, whether it's reaching you through a DM or a text or email or something like that.
I just feel like
I can see that.
I've come across it, especially with my voice, so I have to word everything a certain way so it doesn't come off like creepy.
You might just want to directly reach out to a woman and ask her a question, but you're writing with your reader's lens on, trying to see how she might receive it, so that you don't want it to come across as creepy.
Yeah.
Or just any way other than what you intended. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
For women, we can just talk no matter how it come out. It doesn't matter how
Exactly.
Well, not just that. I mean, there's certain subjects that I don't think dudes should ever approach. You know what I mean? That's just me, Like I see, and not to throw shades as, part of the podcast, but I see dudes like gossip about things that, aren't guy things. So it's just like, why are y'all trying to...
It's like somebody's eating the wires or eating the microphone.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Oh, Vernesha's show phone is acting weird. Because it's coming from your end.
You mute your phone and see if that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Oh, she is muted, isn't she?
I think she just froze.
And
it froze.
It stopped.
Like a connection thing.
I think we lost her for a second.
I thought it was a gremlin eating the telephone wire. Remember them movies?
Remember? Getting louder. It was like
in my head, I really was like, "There's something eating something."
No, but I just. Is she back?
Yeah, they're all.
There you go. Now I can't hear you. Oh, we lost her mic.
Okay, her mic's muted now.
I think she must have double tapped it. Tap it one more time. You mute it. Okay, now you're unmuted.
I still can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta maybe check hit the settings for the audio source. Maybe. Uh-oh. Yeah, so.
But yeah, like I was saying, you can come up. Perfect example for Blurred's Eye View, and DC's one of the co-hosts of my show, and we have a third co-host, Candy B, and so I had her on twice as a guest, and so when I reached out to her to join the crew, she had to be apprehensive because I was like, I have a proposition for you, and she was kind of like,
yeah, see, that's the problem. You started without having a problem.
And it was the way, and I was like,
it's the way. Nah, see, here's the problem. It's the way motherfuckers. It's the way dudes come in inboxes that make the shit creepy. You can't come to a woman and be like, yeah, I got a proposition for you. I think you might like. I want you to do some things with me.
So
like what the
it was
and that Chris is the problem.
Yeah, like you just be like, hey, I would like you to join my show.
I've heard her DMs and I'm just like, yo, that's weird. You know, like I've heard some of the DMs that people have given her and they're like much weirder. I just typed. It was just typed.
No good thing has ever come from a nigga starting a conversation with, I got a proposition for you. Nothing. No 3-8. It don't matter what. You can be 6 in the morning.
I'm a little bit more
receptive
when it comes to that kind of thing. But I do get what you're saying. But yeah, so when you said that to her, what did she say?
Well, she had the eye emoji at first, and then I'm like, I want to see if you want to join the team. And she was like, "Oh, okay." And so it just went from there.
If a motherfucker approached me like, "I got a proposition for you," I'm leery, and I'm a man.
Look how your voice. See how you knew that for your voice to automatically go down. So your voice acting already.
Yeah.
So it was just. I said, you know what, and that was what, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So I've learned how to
play a game with you.
It's better than something.
Let's play a game.
Yeah, like nigga, what?
I like to play games.
What would you do for a seashell or a Klondike bar?
This dude shaved his eyebrows. I said, did you just want to be on TV? Because you could go down to 7-Eleven and get you a Klondike bar
for nothing.
For under $4. You did not have to shave your eyebrows.
I don't know. The way inflation is, I think that eyebrow will go back. That money won't. So I think she's having a little technical. We're gonna try to get her back. But there was another thing I wanted to ask. I think we got her, maybe. I can't hear her. As a voice actor, because I know me, I don't like talking a lot. And if I got paid to talk, I would tell people I'm writing notes. Oh, Sadidi, like I'm not. Nah, nigga, we not. This is the moneymaker. I won't talk too much. You get a few words here, and that's it. And then I got a whiteboard. We just play Pictionary. Do you ever feel like you have to do that?
I have had to make certain adjustments. Okay, so I have a 13-year-old son who definitely drives me crazy sometimes. And I have been known to be a yeller. I've been working on it for the past year, yelling. I'll be yelling at my son. I'll be like, why? And then what happens is it makes my throat sore. And then when it's time for me to record the next day, I don't have all my voice. I'm like, you can't keep doing this. So, though I did just yell at him 30, 45 minutes ago, I keep the amount like I'm working on it. It might have been for a long time. Now it's like a couple sentences. But yeah, so I have to be mindful of losing my temper and yelling. One thing I did stop doing, which I didn't realize, like when you know how you go out and you party and it's your song and you singing over the music. But, you know, we're screaming at the top of our lungs as if we want everybody else to hear us. on top of the music, but you do that all night. The next day, your voice is sore. So I trained myself to stop doing that. So when I'm singing, I'm like lip singing. I'm like, or just saying it really low and not screaming anymore. So you do have to make those types of adjustments.
I've always wanted that because I know sometimes I just be in a mood where I'm not talking to nobody. And I'm not even getting paid for my voice. I just don't feel like wasting it on some people. So that's
really
just
feel like speaking today. Yeah, and I mean, and I do go some days, especially if I stay in one spot. I don't really want to talk on the phone. I don't really want to talk on, like, maybe if I feel like it's not necessarily gone, but it just doesn't feel super duper strong, and I'm juicing and stuff like that, then I might just keep everything text. But I like to talk, so it doesn't happen that often.
I understand, but I just again I had to ask because I know me, and I know if I was getting paid to speak on a regular basis, like if I start getting paid for this, my family gonna hate me because I'm walking around in a mink with a whiteboard just writing it down. Like,
but you know what did happen? When I was modeling, I started getting like that when it came to pictures. Like, oh, can you take it? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, once I started getting paid for my pictures, I was like, why would I take a picture for free?
She
I got no copyright. Look, I got no copyright claim. I got nothing. No.
The way the look she had just now was just like, get your hands off me.
And so that was I blame New York for that. New York knows how to New York will put a chip on your shoulder over anything. I blame New York for that. So when I came back,
put you on 10.
Yes, they will. I just noticed that I stopped taking as many pictures, and I think it just stuck. Like, I might take my own pictures, but it'll be like going out with the girls and stuff like that. I'm never really the one that's driving that. With the family, they always talking about how I'm always missing in action from all of the pictures. So that did happen.
She's gonna start because she's gonna become a myth in her own family. Leslie, like, who's Leslie? Yeah, she was there.
Actually, have her. Was she here?
Anybody ever seen her? So there was another question. She's actually about to try to switch her laptop. Her phone was acting funny. And I am going to make sure you guys get that information switched over. Because like I said, I don't really like people trying to exchange over the air because we've had some weird weirdos. I've gotten some weird emails and correspondences. I just be like, are you there?
Stories. We just had one last night.
Which one?
Just last night.
That one the one on Blurred's Eye View at the very end of the show.
Oh yeah, he had a bunch of bots trying to sell him sex.
It was like it was through the YouTube channel. I'm like, what the hell? We getting ready to wrap the show up. Like, what is this?
You about to get off, huh? Come on over. Ew.
We will stop this all day.
Done.
Yeah. So I heard you about to get off the webs. Come on over. Stay a while. But I do like your resume is thick. Like just looking at it, I was reading over and I was just like, man, that is a lot of different companies. Favorite company that you've done work for?
Favorite company other than the Netflix award-winning voiceover.
Look how she, like G Black said, light flex.
And you know what, too? Real quick on the light flex, when I introduce myself to people, right? When they're like, what do you do? If they ask me what I do, I will not just say I'm a voiceover artist. I would say I'm an award-winning voiceover artist.
As you should.
Put the stamp on it. It's done.
And they would never know otherwise. You know, passing through. Okay, so favorite company. Actually, one of my favorites is one I would probably never hear. We will probably never hear. So a lot of voiceovers I've done have been for award shows, ad award shows as well. And so, you know, they're only screened or shared in that space, and it's like it's not aired anywhere else, or just internal within the company. But Dove has this, what would you call it, project, I can't think of the word, but initiative, I guess, that they're rolling out to deal with it's not body dysmorphia. What's the one with the young girls, and they're so obsessed with their body image, and they can't post a picture without using filters or altering their bodies.
It's almost like body shaming or whatever.
Not as shaming, it's a mental, social, I think it's a socially caused mental disorder that a high number and increasingly and an increasing number of preteens and teenagers are experiencing because of social media and the pressures and all that to look and be perfect, you know. So Dove is rolling out this project where, I don't know, they have something with mentors and older women and something, and then going to roll out something just about body image or about posting to social, or how you receive or, you know, perceive, you know, social media images and stuff like that. But the fact that they like are aware of it and they actually want to do something about it. So I want to say they did something else, which was called Evolution. I think you may have seen Dove commercials where it's like all different bodies. They're one of the first kind of companies to do that. All the different women in their underwear, it's soap, but you know what I mean? But it's like all different bodies, kind of like, you know, there's not just one look or one image that makes you a beautiful or wholesome or meaningful woman. So this is like them coming back. So they had a play on words. I don't remember the script anymore, but I just know that it's something that's coming. So that's one thing that I do like about voiceover, is that I kind of know what's coming down the pipeline with different projects or incentives. Like when two banks merged together, I already knew it was happening before it happened because I saw the script for the commercial. So that's kind of cool. But Dove would be one of my favorite brands that I worked for, because I like when my voice is being used for something that's helpful or useful or productive, you know, meaningful.
Mm-hmm. All right, I can get behind that. Vernesha, are you back? Maybe not.
You're muted. Vernesha, you're muted.
Wait a minute.
It says, yes, their mic isn't connected. Nope, it's still saying something about mic not being connected.
She has to go in her settings.
Yep, for the audio, select your microphone.
Can y'all hear me?
There it is.
Oh,
there it is.
It's coming in.
Got her.
Now, what's amazing is, Leslie, I was already following you. I didn't realize, because DC said, I got a surprise. It's a voiceover actress. She's an award-winning voice. First, he didn't say it was a man or woman. He said they are a voice actor, award-winning actor. And I'm like, who? And then it was like coming down the pipe. And then when I heard him say she, I'm like, okay, it's a woman. Who is it?
Well,
and so,
yeah.
And so when I'm looking, you know, because I like to connect, I like to network because of my show. And I look, I'm like, oh, I was like, that's why your name is familiar. I was following you already.
But you follow so many people, I'm sure you never see none of my posts. I'm way down the timeline.
That's how it works. It's algorithms are garbage around, and they keep changing. But
yeah.
But
how do you know how you started following me?
I just had to look, when I looked at your name, and I'm like, okay, let me see. And I go on my Instagram. I'm like, oh, I was following you. Like I look, like when I type in your name, I'm like, oh, I'm like, and it said, no, it was just like, look, when you have that many people you're following, like she said, you never really know.
But she asked a specific question that you danced around.
No, like I just when I because
she said, "How did you start following?" And you was like, "Well,
it was actually through a mutual. I can't remember who the mutual was because I'm looking at people who work in the entertainment industry.
Was it David Oliver?
Yes.
Yeah.
Big Dave. Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah, especially when you say, and it makes sense because you're from Maryland. He's from that area, so yeah.
Yep, that's my man. $100,000, working actor, good.
Yeah,
people.
I just finished classes with him last week.
I got something in mind.
Oh yeah, how did it go?
Oh, it went good. Like he was just like all the people. He literally said all the students that he had for this particular block. He was like, "You're the one that's like really pushing for it," and I'm like. Thanks.
It's just one, and the reason why he said that though is because that's the thing about. So that goes back to when we first started, and you're like, does it make it easy? And I was just like, none of this is easy. None of it is easy. The number one thing that you have to be able to do is be a doer. You have to be able to do. Right. Period. You got to be able to.
That sounds exactly like him too. That sounds exactly like him.
This is what it's time. They say turn this in by this time. Submit this. Label it just like this, exactly like that, with a dash and then with an underscore. Send your headshot, and it need to be 8x10, not 8.5 by. All of the intricate little things in addition to the actual skill set, and just to get up and do it. And most people are not doers; they're talkers.
I'm a fail on that. I don't follow directions well.
Yep, there's some people are so petty. Like if your audition tape is not labeled the right way, they won't even click on it and watch it.
Damn.
That's how it is in this industry. You got to record stuff in a certain decibel and everything else. Because I've done an audio book, so you have to record it in a certain decibel. It has to be done this way in this format.
Audio book with me? What the fuck?
Vernesha did an audio book too, DC.
I feel like it. Like everybody's doing these great things, and here I am. Just
DC at war with Netflix.
Oh, there you go.
About the city of DC, not you. So why are you beefing with Netflix?
So here's the thing. Not to get personal, but Netflix is a piece of garbage. They sorry, that's your people. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna disparage your people. Let's just call them NF. NF is out here swindling people. I won't never. They can cut to me right now, and I would never.
So what did they keep on running your card after you canceled?
Well, it ain't just that. It's like they want to charge you for this and they charge you for that. Like they forgot where they came from. They was in the streets out here giving you DVDs for $2. Now they want to charge you $42.50 for some high definition, and then they got 4 movies that's worth watching. Why am I paying $42?
$2?
I don't know. I'm exaggerating.
Okay, but I did hear they about to raise the prices again.
They just raised it.
That's what you do.
Why they're losing.
The man ain't that high no more.
If it wasn't high, they would not be able to raise it.
No, they just.
But sometimes, you know what though? I think if they're having financial problems, sometimes that's what people do to make.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah, because they already said they lost.
They're
in their second.
People.
Yeah, they're looking at close to $1 billion.
I was one of them. I was so pissed. I unsubscribed twice. Like I signed up just to unsign up again.
Just so they can have another.
Just so they knew I was pissed. I was like, I don't think y'all felt the first one, so I'm gonna sign up again and then cancel my shit again, so y'all know I was serious. And I hit the pound key with it. Boom.
Serious out here in these streets.
I was out here, man. But no, it's just.
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad, son.
No, but it's just.
Did y'all get a chance to hear the Ludes mixtape?
No.
Which one?
The Ludes mixtape.
I've seen it, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Okay, so I do the Mad Rapper on there. You're gonna laugh. Listen to it.
I'm going to. Can I ask y'all a question? And this is for both ladies. Chris, you're not involved in this one.
I should hope not.
No offense.
I'm
Well, it's
man,
nothing
Damon.
like it's nothing that's gender driven.
He prefaced it with ladies.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
that part.
Damon, I am a boy.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to offend nobody these days. You got to be correct when you
nah, man, risk offending, and then maybe if you need to apologize afterwards, apologize.
Nah,
that's where I'm at with it. If we all talking about the same thing, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. I just.
But go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question.
I choose the low road.
DC, or we get canceled.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying not to do because I ain't got started. So it's easy.
I will get your ass canceled. Let me just be quiet.
No, because I ain't got started. I'll do a good enough job toting that, walking that line of almost getting canceled every night.
Dancing on that joke.
So before I ask this question, both of you guys are single, right? I don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm single. I'm dating. I'm dating.
I'm in a relationship.
Okay, so you can still answer this question.
Okay.
Because as a man, and we kind of touched on this earlier, but I always want a woman's perspective. Do you feel like guys are just overly thirsty?
No.
Okay.
I've never felt that. But I don't know. I mean, maybe
you might like them aggressive.
Maybe guys are more thirsty for them.
But you might. Do you like aggressive dudes? I
like both.
Okay.
I like aggressive, not for aggressive sake, but that just lets me know, that you actually are interested. But then also I like shy dudes too, because the guy that I'm dating is not aggressive, and I like him a lot. So yeah.
Okay. Just thought I asked.
But the more shy you are, the more questions that I end up asking you. That's the only thing. So that could get on your nerves, but I feel like I don't know. Aggressive guys, you just know where you stand at all times. Sometimes you might not want to. So you gotta take the bad with the good, right?
I mean, I figured I'd ask.
But what made you ask that? Is that something that women say?
No, I mean, I like to ask weird questions that that pop in my head sometimes. Sometimes I just want to know. I like women's perspective because I've never been one. So I want to see what the other side. If I'm poor, so sometimes I ask rich people questions because I like to see how the other half lives. Mm-hmm. I know I might not get there, but one day I just might. So I want to know how to act. Huh?
No. Only time men come off to me is I'm just not interested. Like you're annoying to me if I'm just not.
I feel it.
You gotta wouldn't that be everybody?
Yeah.
What you say?
I'm not. You heard me?
Say it again.
I said, but you got a boyfriend, so wouldn't that be everybody? It was a joke, but
I mean, yeah, now, but like, no. Like every time a dude seems thirsty to me.
But I like that.
For me, guys. For me, a guy trying to talk to me I don't automatically make that thirsty. The only time you could be thirsty is when you are trying to enter my physical space and I'm letting you know that it's not wanted. I think that's extreme. And I think that because the reason why I asked you why you asked that question is because I've heard little murmurs about that topic. And I don't think that it's very nice. I don't think that it's very nice to call somebody thirsty just because.
Well, I don't mean thirsty like that. As a guy, we call other guys thirsty if they, push up a little too weird. But I don't mean thirsty in the sense of, like tongue hanging out caveman style. I just mean, you could be chilling, not giving off that vibe, and it's just like, dog, like, she ain't really feeling that right now. Just
so you're saying if the guy is not realizing she's not interested, still trying, that's thirsty.
Yeah.
or just going straight to the lewd remark without.
I would agree. I
feel like these men though.
What'd you say?
I feel like these men be knowing though women are interested in them,
and they still try.
Yeah. I don't know. I think.
Can y'all hear me?
Kind of. You're kind of going in and out, but we heard what you just said though. Did we?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, I asked that because, like I said, it's more prevalent now that you can tell. Like there's a certain kind of discernment that you can have. Women have tails. The look on her face, you know what I mean? The body language. I think more guys need to look into that. And that's just me.
I hear that. But I also think that we mislabel guys a lot sometimes. I think we mislabel guys as being thirsty a lot too. And I do agree with you being aware of social cues, but I also think too, I mean, as time goes on, like we got to start adapting to some of some of our ways of communication. You know, a woman should be able to just tell a guy that she's not interested, but thanks for asking. But you don't get that. You don't get that direct kind of thing. So if a guy's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm fine. I already know I'm not interested in him. That doesn't mean I can't communicate with the guy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, what's your name? Okay. In my head, I'm like, okay, here we go. But I'll Leslie, you know, oh, you got a boyfriend? Oh, can I get your number sometime? No, thank you. You know, but what will happen is that maybe a girl would just give him her number, but doesn't really want to give it to him, or give him a fake number. You get that more. Or the guy comes over and he's trying to talk to the girl, and she might be with a friend or two, and it's just like, so if you're his friends looking and they're like, man, dude, can't you tell she's not interested? But my thing is like, why do you even have to do that? I think that is mean. Like, you could just tell people, and it would cut down your amount of actual thirsty people if there was more direct communication out here while we're dating with each other about whether you're interested or not. I think people would have less anxiety about dealing with each other. Does that make sense?
It does, because there's like there's a disconnect when it comes between men and women, and for the majority of men, they know what the disconnect is, and then other times you just kind of miss. They do, and they just don't care. Let me put the disclaimer on that. I
think it's more
they do, and they don't care.
You
think it's more? What you say, DC?
It's just more miscommunication than anything.
I didn't understand.
My Google thought I was talking.
She was like, "See, a miscommunication." That's what I'm saying. My prime example.
The beauty of live.
Prime example: miscommunication. He thought you was talking to him, so he didn't even understand what you were saying.
Always watching. That's just Big Brother. I just listen. We already got cell phones. I might as well get my speakers and make my music listening easier. But go ahead. So you say you think it's miscommunication?
Yes. As a person who has been watching people interact for a long time, I'm a psychologist in this fact. Little known fact, I actually have a street PhD in psychology and sociology.
Okay.
So there's little interactions that guys, when they go into, not all guys, let's say 5%. There's a 5% of guys who confidence, cocky, they you can't tell them nothing. And they feel like no matter, they're a salesman because they feel like they can overcome objectives. And in this fact, you realize that it's not really cute sometimes. It's just that he has a miscommunication with what she wants and what she's saying. Because some guys read one thing, but they hear another. Women do it sometimes too, but not as much as men.
Okay.
But the reason I asked all this is because I've seen lately a lot of women say that, like they wish, like you said, they can just be direct, and it just leave it at that, and that's it. But a lot of times you can't. You gotta like throw them off this trail with a weird scent, to get them off your trail. So I just want to ask women because, you know, again, I like asking these questions to women because, you know, sometimes you got to know. Like, it doesn't do me no good, but, you know, the next man who hear this might be like, oh, that's why she gave me that false number. Damn. I thought she just didn't like me. No, brother, she just didn't want to talk to you at that point, but she didn't know how to tell you that without you, you know, either getting hurt or upset. So I think that's all it is.
But see, that right there is the part of what we got to stop doing. You just got to let people know where you stand if they're asking, versus you trying to predict what their emotional response is going to be to what you say. And you don't even know them. Y'all just met literally. You know what I'm saying? You just got to say it and be okay with it because it's the truth. And you don't have to be nasty about it, but I find that speaking straight and direct, while it may rub some people the wrong way, you're better off, or I'm better off moving in that way, just kind of like across the board, than avoiding, pussyfooting around, being overly cautious with the words, you know, delivery, oversensitivity with delivery, all of that stuff. And then with our current times, this is just my thoughts, with us being on social so much and being such heavy texters, the more and more that we continue along those lines and less of actually video calls or talking on the telephone, you're going to keep on having these odd exchanges in real life because you don't have any practice. You're too dissociated from real people because you're on the screen all the time, hearing things in your own tone, reading and interpreting somebody else's words in your own tone.
I totally agree. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think we do need to just be able to tell somebody, nah, I'm not interested, dog. And let it be that. But a lot of times we don't, because like you said, we try to predict what people are gonna say.
And you can't.
Chris, any questions?
I mean, no questions, but I mean, I've even seen cases where
majority.
Yeah, go ahead, Vernesha, go ahead. Might be a delay.
I'm gonna say, like, mainly in my experience, directly. I mean, that's just me. Like, it hasn't really worked.
Can y'all hear her?
She's going in and out.
It's for some reason cutting in and out on there.
Okay, so we hearing the same thing.
Yeah. It's got to be her connection.
It sounds like she said being direct didn't work for her though.
Yeah. I was gonna. In some cases, that's what I was saying.
What just happened?
I can now. That's what I was saying. There's a delay.
It is.
Is that better?
Yeah, if that's live.
Yeah,
is that
like being direct? Majority of the time, it hasn't.
Sorry, emails.
It's her feed.
Pressing in, that's when I get them the fake number, or so they can leave me alone and not block them later, you know.
It works both ways. I feel it.
I mean, that's generally what I was getting ready to say, because I've seen cases where guys, they don't get the direct approach, don't know how to react to the direct approach. They react in the wrong way to the direct approach. So it's a number of things. It's not just one thing or just one way to go about it. It's a number of ways.
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. I just feel like I asked.
All right, what you got another one? I like these questions.
I actually sorry I have to do this. I want to play a game with you guys real quick.
Do you want to play a game?
So I got this game. It's called Damn, How Old Are You?
Oh, it's back.
So basically I asked you 4 questions. One from the 80s, one from the 90s, 2000, 2010s. 4 questions. So, Leslie, we're going to have you go first. We're going to start with the 80s. So they are multiple choice. And this game is to pretty much see, damn, how old are you? Because some people don't know. So from the 80s, the question is, in Tom Hanks' Big, how old was his character before he was big? A, 9, B, 6, C, 12, or D, 8?
12.
That is correct.
You know how
I
rare
love that movie.
That is correct.
They get right on the money.
Oh, wow. Okay. If you don't get this right, I'm actually going to take your black card away from you.
Well,
what sitcom was Steve Urkel on?
Family Matters.
I was going to say I shouldn't have to go through those, but...
Oh, yeah, it's multiple choice, right?
It was multiple choice, but I was hoping I didn't have to go that far.
I actually met the mom from Family Matters at the American Black Film Festival in 2016.
Oh, what's Mary Jo Payton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was quite a character.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're halfway there.
Okay.
You're 2 for 2. So 2000s. Which rock band released their debut album in the 2000s? A, Coldplay. B, Arctic Monkeys. C, Radiohead. Or D, Maroon 5?
Their debut album in the 2000s?
Yeah.
What kind of question is this? This is like, you got to be like a musicology person. 2000. I'm trying to think. Coldplay. Were they playing in the 90s? I feel like Maroon 5 and Coldplay both came out in the 2000s. I don't know anything about Arctic Monkeys. And Radiohead. I feel like Radiohead is old. Am I moving in the right direction?
Like you asking the crowd.
I just did a 50-50.
It feels like you stalling for somebody to put it in the chat.
2 choices, so now it's between Coldplay and Maroon 5. All right. It's been a while. Who sang that song? It's been a while.
I have no idea.
Hey, Google.
Oh, shit. I didn't understand you.
When did Coldplay's first album debut?
Hey, G.
I'm going to go with Maroon 5.
Oh, hell no.
It was Coldplay.
It was Coldplay?
It was Coldplay.
Google said that their debut album came out in 1998.
That's why we have a disconnect with Google, because he misunderstood the question. All right, last one. He misunderstood the question. This is 2010s. So who jumped off of Houston's NRG Stadium during their Super Bowl performance? A, Pink. B, Katy Perry, who did allegedly kiss a girl and like it. C, Lady Gaga. Or D, Bruno Mars?
Pink?
Oh, hell no.
It was Lady Gaga.
Oh, okay. I just know Pink be swinging from every time she do a show. She always hanging from the curtain.
The rafters and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Oh, so I failed. I got to eat. That's 50%.
You went 2 for 2. Trust me, there's a lot of people who played this game who haven't got one right.
2 out of 4.
Yeah, you're there. Trust me, there's a lot of people who struck out in this game.
Yes.
So Ms. Vernesha, are you ready?
It struck out in ways that you would not expect.
I was sober in the 80s and the 90s. Maybe that's the problem.
All right, so we went to 80s. Who voices Gizmo in the Gremlins? A, Howie Mandel. B, a computer. C, Christopher Lloyd. Or D, Harrison Ford? she's thinking.
A?
Yes.
Yep. Nope.
All right. 90s. What was Sarah Michelle Gellar's most famous role in the 90s? A. Buffy. B. Snooki. C. Willow. Or D. Summer. Sarah Michelle Gellar in the 90s. She played A. Buffy. B. Snooki. C. Willow. Or D. Summer.
I'm gonna go with A.
Yes. You knew would be correct.
That's correct. 2000s. Let me see if I can get through this one. Which celebrity? It's just the names on this list. Which celebrity had a line of edible beauty products? A. Hilary Duff. B. Jessica Simpson. C. Mandy Moore. Or D. Ashley Tisdale.
I feel like that's something that Jessica Simpson would do. She was a
Final
real
answer?
sex symbol for a little minute. I'm gonna say Jessica Simpson.
You are correct.
One right? Oh,
He was right.
But it's
3 for 3.
But is tuna the chicken, or
I don't know. Last one.
I'll never forget that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You did one about I think they made a commercial about the buffalo wings too.
Yeah. All right, last one. Who made history in the 2012 Olympics after running a 100-meter dash in 9.63 seconds? A. Jesse Owens. B. Usain Bolt. C. Carl Lewis. Or D. Tyson Gay.
Usain Bolt.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Give you both.
You know how rare this is? Like, we've
No,
had
they both
guests.
did good.
Yeah,
For not knowing, I haven't done this game in a while. Definitely want to do it more. But I felt like it was a perfect way to end. Both of you guys are amazing.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you guys. Honestly, I appreciate any time. Hey, thank you. I'm actually going to be doing another game show here soon. So if you guys want to come through and play, you guys are more than welcome. I'm going to try to do it more often than I have. Another game called 3 the Hard Way. A lot of people don't like that game. But then there's Damn How Old Are You? And Battle of the Sexes. And I think there's another game I want to incorporate, Family Feud. But we'll get those later down the road. But you guys are more than welcome to always come back. And I will actually let you guys know that when it's my turn to talk. But please give your plugs. Tell people where they can find you, how they can follow you, what else you guys got going on, and a word of advice. Miss Vernesha.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at LoveVee Talks. LoveVeeTalks. And I have a private Facebook group. You can join that where the conversation gets a little spicy. He talks, same handle. Piece of advice. I won't let anybody put to your dreams. Not theirs. If the is not for them to understand, it's period.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't forget, if you're in the Irving, Texas area, August 20th from 6 to 10, she is throwing one hell of a women's mingle and mix. Thank you.
Yes.
I wish I can be there, but I'm
your
one,
girl.
not a woman.
Okay, we're gonna have some great speakers. Come see your girl. Okay, we're gonna have drinks. We're gonna have some good food. Have a good, talk. Okay, it's gonna be all girl talk, real conversations about how we got to where we are. Sending encouragement. So, yeah, come see your girl.
Gonna be fun. Miss Leslie.
Okay. Tell me what I'm supposed to say again.
So pretty much where people can find you. What you got going on next. Any words of encouragement. Just talk to the people before we get out of here.
Okay. So to wrap it all up, my name is Leslie Olabisi, and I am an actor, host, content creator, and award-winning voiceover artist. My name is down here at the bottom, so that's my handle on Instagram. Check out my website, which is voiceleslie.com. That's all things voiceover. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is LoveVee Studios, all one word. I have different shows like Not a Sneakerhead, which is a show about sneakers. Conversations with Leslie. We have conversations like that with individuals. Fashion, reviews, different things like that. So it's something for everybody. And advice, I would quote a few agreements from the 4 agreements, which is be impeccable with your words, always do your best, don't take anything personally.
Love it. Chris, talk to the people.
All right, tune in tomorrow night.
I got
Facebook,
a proposition
YouTube,
for y'all.
Twitch, and Twitter. Go to the IG page, Blurred's Eye View, and it give you the link tree in the bio. Tomorrow night, me and Tracy are talking about the shit show that DC and Warner Brothers Discovery has pretty much turned into in less than 24 hours. And we'll be talking amongst about a lot of other stuff as well. But that's tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch and Twitter. Next Tuesday, tune in 8:30, same channels. We are talking to 3 black girl nerds. They're going to be a guest on. We're going to be talking about them working in the entertainment industry, and one of them actually interviewed Oprah and Shonda Rhimes. So we're going to be picking their brains.
I won't be there.
I keep raising the bar. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like every time I speak to a guest, whether it's this show or the other show, they just make me feel like I don't do shit with my life. Like I don't.
I'm shooting for the gold, baby. I told you. I'm shooting for the gold.
Always do your best.
Shoot high. Don't shoot it all. Tune in Blurred's Eye View IG, follow Linktree in the bio, hit the YouTube channel for notification, or hit the notification bell on the YouTube channel, and you'll get Fury's reaction reviews along with past episodes. I currently have, I'm talking about Batgirl being canceled, and I'll have another one talking about what's been going on today. So tune in for that. So that's it.
So tomorrow, 9:30, the disaster of
9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 p.m.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'll be dropping that. If you want to come through, drop me a line.
So, before I do anything, ladies.
Okay. That looks like the
computer on us. Computer blue.
Computer blue.
Yeah.
If you don't get that reference.
Right.
Let's see what we can go like this.
There you go. I was like, okay, she went fine films on us. Thank you, ladies, for coming by. Always appreciate guests, especially when they're dope and amazing like you ladies are. Leslie, thank you for reaching out to me and wanting to be a part of the show. Appreciate that. Vernesha, thank you. We had a conversation on the phone. She was helping with me at the event, giving me guidance, and I appreciate that and enjoy what you guys do. Also gotta bring this back up real quick. I gotta thank Biz Boost, Obelisk Radio for jumping on board with this content creators event that's going on next year. It's exciting and nerve wracking at the same time trying to do this. So I'm there.
Yeah, let me know how I can be a part of that.
Oh, for sure. You have my socials. I have yours. I'm definitely gonna co-minglate your guys' socials so you guys can get in touch. And but it's for content creators of color. Vernesha, me and you spoke about this. It's something that I feel needs to be done the same way you felt, it needs to be done. Having the opportunity, because I live in Ohio, having the opportunity for cosplayers, podcasters, YouTubers, vendors, small businesses to get in the same room and talk about how we can better each other and start making money together, doing advertisement for these businesses and things of that nature, man. Just being able to, like I said, be in a room with a bunch of people and just that creative juices that flow. You never know who you might network with and y'all can make something happen and boom, there's magic. So I always believe in uh, there's no such thing as a chance meeting. Like even when I do these like pairings, I try to pair kind of like-minded people that I feel like if they met, they might connect, and you never know what might become that. It's not me trying to be a mastermind or nothing. It's just like there's no point in having a doctor on with a musician. Like that's just a weird marriage of content. But I always love seeing, people networking and people growing and people wanting to branch out and meet people and all that. So it's a beautiful thing to me. Again, thank you guys for coming on. If you guys are listening to this and watching this, you know where to find me. I ain't got to tell y'all that. But I will tell you, ladies, the same thing I tell every guest. I know it's kind of cliche. People are tired of hearing it. But once you're here one time, you're family. Anytime you want to come on, just let me know. The door is always open. I'm always down to, like I said, especially with dope people, always have them back on, man, and let's just talk and have fun. Because that's really what it's all about. Little known fact for those who haven't seen my post. This show was just on the charts for 4th in music interviews on the indie scene, 4th in the top 100 of entertainment, and 9th on the charts of 100 in indie entertainment news on Good Pod. So apparently, people like us.
Something right. We're doing something right.
I don't really celebrate too much, but when I woke up this morning and seen that email at 4:30 in the morning, I was like, "Oh, can't nobody tell me nothing all day."
Make sure you send me a graphic or the links or whatever from this interview and for your podcast itself with those numbers so I can post it as well.
I will. I will get you that email. But again, I appreciate you guys for coming on, being part of the show. I'm always say this show is not really me. I just press buttons. It's all about our dope ass guests and their stories and being able to hear from them. Because I'm a firm believer in you don't get the real story until you hear it from the source. I hate TMZ and all those places that, tell somebody else's story, but it's like fourth person. So it's not even like the truth. It's like the furthest thing from the truth. So I enjoy hearing people's stories. Great stories are meant to be told and heard and passed on, through generations. So being able to speak to an award-winning voice actor, to me, like I said, when I got the email, it was amazing. To speak to someone who's putting together an event like I want to put together and they have everything nailed down, I think is amazing. And plus, you guys are 2 dope black women, so to me, that is even more amazing on top of that. Definitely like celebrating. Definitely like celebrating our black women and their accomplishments. If nothing else, that is very important to me. Because like I said, they don't get it enough. We know how hard you guys work, and like I said, it's even harder for women. Like I can say as a black man, it's hard, but I'm still a man at the end of the day, so I still have some kind of leverage. I'm a big advocate for empowering women and trying to make sure that they are represented the right way. So I appreciate you guys for coming on and lending your time to us and your talents. Again, you guys want to come back on, the door is always open. I got nothing else, Chris. Anything else?
They rocked the show. What can I say?
Again, I just shut the fuck up and press buttons, man. My leg crossing my Earl Grey tea.
For having me. It was a pleasure to meet you both. And
Thank you.
as well, we will connect offline.
As soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna make sure that's the first thing I do. I'm not even posting this online until I get that information to y'all.
Yeah.
So y'all can connect. So nothing else. It's been real. You guys are always amazing. Thank you to the people who watched. I usually leave y'all with the white girl because I don't want to disrespect my queens. I'm just gonna leave y'all with it.
Thank you. Voiceover. I don't want to hear it.
No, it's just a white girl that dance, but
nope.
I'm gonna leave y'all.
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. You play what you want. I'm signing off.
Thank you guys. All right, let's get out.
It's cooking. I want the shit, boy. Get on my level. Doing 125 in my own way. Pedal to metal. One thing that I won't let you do, and that's gas me up. Nah. Keep my eyes open, letting nothing pass me up. Oh, I refuse to let you block my shine. No,